Hi there, grade 5 pupils! Welcome back again to another video lesson. So we are now on the last operations on decimals. So this will be our video lesson discussion for grade 5 mathematics quarter 2. So our last operation will be division. So we will be dividing decimals up to 2 decimal places and dividing whole numbers with quotients in decimal form. So for our lesson objectives, at the end of this video lesson, students, pupils, you are expected to divide decimals up to 2 decimal places. So mamaya explain po natin kung paano yan. And then as well as on how to divide whole numbers with quotients in decimal forms. So quotients, ito po yung result when we are dividing numbers. So start natin yung discussion on enumerating the steps in dividing decimals up to 2 decimal places. So mahalaga po na malaman natin yung mga steps kung paano tayo nagdi-divide ng decimals kasi hindi naman siya nalalayo dun sa process kung paano tayo nagdi-divide ng mga whole numbers. So first step, we have change the divisor as a whole number by moving the decimal point to the right. So yung divisor po natin dito, the one that is being divided. So kung isusulat po natin siya, ipapakita natin yung solution niya. Yung divisor po is yung nasa labas. And then second step, move the decimal point of the dividend as many places as the decimal point in the divisor is moved. So dito naman, imumove naman natin yung decimal point nung dividend. Okay. So yung dividend naman, ito po yung nasa loob. And then, ang imumove po natin na decimal point is nakadepende po kung ilan pong ang minove natin dun sa divisor. For example, nag-move tayo ng 2 decimal places dun sa divisor, 2 decimal places din po ang imumove natin dun sa dividend. Step 3, divide just like dividing whole numbers, insert zeros to the dividend when needed. So kapag na-move na natin yung mga corresponding decimal places from both the divisor and dividend, that is the time that we will just divide them like dividing whole numbers. So kung paano yung proseso ng pag-divide ng mga whole numbers, ganun din po ang process ng pag-divide dito. And then, kapag kinakailangan, mag-add po tayo ng zeros. So mamaya may mga examples tayo wherein mag-a-add tayo ng 0. So again, i-add lang po natin or insert natin yung zeros kapag kinakailangan. So dividing decimals up to 2 decimal places. So let's have the first example. What is 4 and 2/10 divided by 7/10? So yung iba sa inyo, babasahin siya as what is 4.2 divided by 0.7? So let's have the first step. Change the divisor as a whole number by moving the decimal point to the right. So sulat natin yung solution. So 4.2 divided by 0.7. So yung first step niya, change the divisor as a whole number by moving the decimal point to the right. So ito po yung decimal point, imumove natin yan to the right para maging whole number. Ayan. So naging 7 na po siya. Next. Step 2. Move the decimal point of the dividend as many places as the decimal point in the divisor is moved. So since 1 decimal place lang ang minove natin doon sa divisor, 1 decimal place lang din ang imumove natin doon sa dividend. So from the decimal point, yan. So ibig sabihin ngayon, kung i-rewrite natin yan, magmumukhang 42 divided by 7 siya. So i-rewrite natin. Ayan. 42 now divided by 7 is 6. And then 6 times 7, that is 42. And then we'll just simply subtract. 42 minus 42, that is 0. Now, our answer is 6. The quotient is 6. And then, to check if our answer is correct, let us multiply the divisor 0.7 by the quotient. 7 times 6, that is 42. So, we'll write 2 and then carry 4. 0 times 6, that is 0, plus 4, 4. And then, bibilangin lang po natin yung decimal places dito sa ating mga factors dito. So, we only have 1. So, magmumove tayo ng 1 decimal place to the left. So, from here to here. So, ibig sabihin, ang sagot natin is 4.2. Therefore, 4.2 divided by 0.7, the answer is 6. So, let's have the third example. What is 44 and 1/10 divided by 1 and 26 hundredths? In this case, makikita natin na yung ating divisor, 2 decimal places na siya. So, hundredths na siya, hanggang hundredths na siya. But our dividend is still tenths. So, divide natin. Susulat natin 1.26. Ayan. And then, yung 44.1. Okay. So, ngayon, step 1, change the divisor as a whole number by moving the decimal point to the right. So, mag-move tayo ng 2 decimal places to the right para maging whole number. Hindi lang po dapat isa. Dahil kapag isa lang, hindi po siya magiging whole number. Say, for example, ayan, magiging 12.6 siya. Decimal number pa rin siya. So, mag-move tayo 2 decimal place, magiging 126. And then, since dalawa ang minove natin doon sa divisor, on step 2, syempre, dalawa din po ang imumove natin doon sa dividend. 1, 2. And then, yung pangalawa, that is the time na mag-a-add po tayo ng 0. And then, yung ating decimal point, naka-align syempre dun sa quotient, dun sa itaas. Next, let us divide. 4 divided by 126 cannot be. Kunin natin yung next digit, magiging 44 divided by 126, hindi pa rin po ubra. So, kukunin natin ngayon yung pangatlong digit, wherein magiging 441, which is greater than, mas mataas na po sa 126. Therefore, pwede na tayo mag-divide. So, how many 126 are there in 441? We have 3. Or, next, multiply 3 by 126, we'll get 378. And then, let us subtract. 1 minus 8 cannot be. So, manghihiram tayo ngayon dito sa 4. So, ang 4 ngayon, magiging 3 na lang siya. And then, yung 1, magiging 11. 11 minus 8 now, that is 3. 3 minus 7, hindi po yan pwedeng i-subtract. So, manghihiram tayo dito sa 4. So, itong 4, magiging 3 din siya. And then, itong 3, magiging 13 na po. So, 13 minus 7 now, we have 6. And then, 0. 3 minus 3, 0. And then, next, bring down natin yung 0 natin, yung in-add natin kanina, magiging 630. Now, 630 divided by 126 will have 5. Ayan. So, 5. 5 times 126, that is 630. Therefore, our remainder is 0. So, to check if our answer 35 is correct, just simply multiply 1.26 by 35. So before we proceed on to the next discussion, let us have the last example. So for this example, as you can see, dito sa ating dividend and divisor, pareho po silang 2 decimal places. Okay, so yan na yung last example natin dyan. Okay, so let us write our given. So, 6.23 or 6 and 23 hundredths then 292 and 81 hundredths. Next, change the divisor as a whole number by moving the decimal point to the right. So same steps, 2 decimal places naman from both divisor and dividend. So ayan. And then, let us divide. 2 divided by 623 cannot be. Let's get 9. 29 divided by 623 cannot be pa rin. Kunin natin yung 2. 292. Hindi pa rin siya obra. So we'll get the fourth digit. So which is 8. So magiging 2,928 na siya. So ilang 623 ba ang pwede nating kunin sa 2,928? So we only have 4. So 4 times 623, that is 2,492. Yan. 8 minus 2, we have 6. 2 minus 9 cannot be, so we will borrow 1 from 9. So this will become 8. And then 2 will become 12. 12 minus 9, that is 3. 8 minus 4, that is 4. 2 minus 2, that is 0. And then, we bring down the next digit after 8, which is 1. So, magiging 4,361 siya ngayon. So, 4,361 divided by 623, we have 7. Again, our remainder here is 0. So, our answer is 47. To check if our answer is correct, multiply 6 and 23 hundredths by the result, which is 47. So, let us now proceed to topic number 2. So, for topic number 2, we have dividing whole numbers with quotients in decimal form. So, this time, we will be dividing two whole numbers wherein the result obtained is in decimal form. Okay, hindi po whole number ang makukuha nating sagot, kundi in decimal form. So, meron tayong dalawang condition. The first condition is, if the dividend is less than the divisor, this means that the value of the dividend, yung nasa loob, ay mas mababa dun sa value ng divisor na nasa labas. Write 0 as the quotient of the dividend and the divisor. Since hindi naman natin madidivide yung dividend kasi nga less than siya sa divisor, isusulat po natin yung 0 sa itaas. And then multiply the quotient 0 by the divisor. Write your product below the dividend, then subtract. So since 0 ang isusulat natin, i-multiply natin dun sa divisor, 0 pa rin po ang makukuha natin. And then kapag sinulat natin yung product, isusubtract natin, yung pa rin pong dividend ang makukuha nating sagot. And then this time, we will add decimal point and 0 in the dividend. So para po ma-divide natin yung dividend sa divisor, kailangan na natin ngayon mag-add ng decimal point at 0. So kung ilang 0, depende po yun. Next, divide and write the decimal point in the quotient aligned with the decimal point in the dividend before writing the answer. Siyempre, kailangan po yung decimal point natin nakatapat, naka-align. And then, continue the process until the difference is equal to 0. And then, check. So, para mas maintindihan nyo po yan, let's have the following examples. So, for example number 1, what is 4 divided by 8? As you can see, 4, the one that is written first is what we call the dividend. And then, yung second one is yung divisor. So, kitang-kita nga naman na yung value natin for dividend is less than. Mas mababa dun sa value ng divisor, which is 8. Now, divide natin ngayon. 4 divided by 8. So, 4 divided by 8 cannot be. So, yung first step natin, kailangan po natin isulat yung 0 sa itaas. And then, multiply natin sa 8 dun sa divisor, that is 0. And then mag-subtract tayo ngayon. 4 minus 0, 4. Next, we will add a decimal point. And then yung decimal point natin, naka-align po dapat dun sa itaas. Katapat po nung nandun sa dividend. And then, this time, we will add 0. So, yung 0 na in-add natin, bring down po natin yan dito. So, magiging 40. Now, 40 can now be divided by 8. Yes. 40 divided by 8, the answer is 5. 5 times 8, that is 40. 40 minus 40, 0. Now, let us check if our answer is correct. 0.5 times 8, or 5 tenths, multiplied by 8. 5 times 8, that is 40. So, we'll write 0 and then carry 4. 0 times 8, that is 0, plus 4, 4. And then, we will count the number of decimal places onto dun sa factors ng ating mga given. Ayan. So, this time, meron tayong 1 decimal place. So, mag-move tayo ng decimal point to the left. Isa lang po. 1. So, ayan. Mapapansin po natin, magiging 4.0 or simply 4. So, therefore, our answer is 0.5. Okay, as you can see, in decimal form siya. Kahit na dalawang whole numbers yung pinag-divide natin. Another example, what is 9 divided by 20? So, this time, yung 1-digit whole number, i-divide natin sa 2-digit whole number. Ayan. 9 divided by 20, that is 0. 0 times 20, that is 0. Then we'll subtract 9 minus 0, that is 9. And then we'll add decimal point. I-align din natin decimal point, syempre. And then we'll add 0. Bring down 0. So magiging 90. 90 divided by 20, the answer is 4. 4 times 20, that is 80. 0 minus 0, 0. 9 minus 8, that is 1. Can we divide 10 by 20? No. We need to add another 0. And then yung in-add nating 0, bring down natin. So magiging 100 na siya. 100 divided by 20, that is 5. 5 times 20, that is 100. And then we subtract, our remainder is 0. So yung nakuha po nating sagot is 0.45 or 45 hundredths. So let us check if our answer is correct. 5 times 0, 0. So, 0 lahat yan. Next, 2 times 5, that is 10. So, we'll write 0 and then carry 1. 4 times 2, 8 plus 1, 9. 0 times 2, we have 0. So, kahit hindi na natin isulat yon. Next, ilan ang decimal places dito sa mga factors natin? We have 2. Ayan. So, mag-move tayo ngayon ng 2 decimal places to the left. So, from here, 1, 2. Ayan. So, you can see, nakuha po natin yung sagot na 9. Yung 9 na yun, yun po yung ating dividend. Therefore, our answer, 45 hundredths or 0.45 is correct. So, let's have the third example. What is 21 divided by 28? So, 21 divided by 28. So, sulat natin 21. And then divided by 28. 21 or 2 divided by 28, that is 0. Then, magiging 21 divided by 28, 0 pa rin. So this time, mag-a-add na tayo ng decimal point and then 0. So bring down natin yung 0, magiging 210. 210 divided by 28, our answer here is 7. 7 times 28 is 196. 0 minus 6 cannot be. So magbaborrow ngayon tayo dito. So dito sa 1 magiging 0. Etong 0 magiging 10. 10 minus 6, 4. 0 minus 9 cannot be. So manghihiram tayo dito. Sa 2, magiging 1 to. And then yung 0 magiging 10. 10 minus 9, that is 1. So we'll have 14. Kasi 1 minus 1 dito, 0. So 14 na lang. And then divided by 28 cannot be. So another 0. Bring down natin yung 0, magiging 140. Divided by 28, the answer is 5. 5 times 28, that is 140. So subtract natin, makukuha po natin sagot is 0. So our answer is 75 hundredths. Sulat natin, check natin if our answer is correct. 0.75 or 75 hundredths multiply by 28. 5 times 8, that is 40. So we'll write 0, then carry 4. 7 times 8, 56 plus 4, 60. So sulat natin 0 and then carry 6. 0 times 8, 0 plus 6, 6. 2 times 5, we have 10. So, sulat natin 0 and then carry 1. 7 times 2, that is 14, plus yung carry natin 1, 15. So, sulat natin 5 and then carry 1. 0 times 2, 0 plus 1, 1. Add natin ngayon, 0, bring down. 0 plus 0, 0. 6 plus 5, 11. So, we'll write 1 and then carry 1. 1 plus 1, 2. Next, bilangin natin yung decimal places dito sa ating mga factors. 1, 2. So, meron tayong 2. So, mag-move tayo ng 2 decimal places to the left. 1, 2. So, we have 21. So, therefore, 0.75 or 75 hundredths is correct. So, pwede rin namang tanggalin natin yung isang 0 dito, ayan, or pwedeng 2, for as long as yun naman yung sagot natin, 75 hundredths. So let's have the second condition, if the dividend is greater than the divisor. So this time, yung dividend is mas mataas na yung value niya dun sa ating divisor. Start dividing the usual way. So, hindi natin kailangan mag-add dito ng 0 dun sa taas. Mag-write ng 0 dun sa taas kasi pwede naman nating i-divide yung dividend dun sa divisor. Kasi nga, mas mataas yung value niya. Next, multiply the quotient by the divisor. Write your product below the dividend, then subtract. Next, add decimal point and 0 in the dividend, then bring down 0. So, kapag na-divide na natin yung first digit dun sa divisor, dun tayo mag-a-add ng decimal point tsaka 0 dahil mas maliit na po kasi nun ang value na makukuha natin. Divide and write the decimal point in the quotient aligned with the decimal point in the dividend before writing the answer. So, kagaya ng diniscuss natin kanina, kailangan po magkatapat yung mga decimal point natin. Continue the process until the difference is equal to 0. And then, check. So, let's have example number 1. What is 7 divided by 5? So, you can see, 7 is our dividend and 5 is our divisor. 7 is greater than 5. The value of the dividend is greater than the value of the divisor. So, let's divide. So, 7 divided by 5. 7 divided by 5, we have 1. 1 times 5, 5. And then we subtract 7 divided by 5, that is 2. And then we add decimal point and 0. Dahil hindi na po natin pwedeng i-divide yung 2 sa 5 kasi mas maliit na yung value niya. So, bring down natin yung in-add nating 0, magiging 20. By the way, yung in-add nating decimal point, kailangan naka-align din po dun sa quotient natin yan. Magkatapat po sila. Next, 20 divided by 5, that is 4. 4 times 5, 20. And then we subtract, we get 0. So, our answer is 1.4 or 1 and 4 tenths. Let us check. 1 and 4 tenths times 5. 4 times 5, 20. So, we'll write 0 and then carry 2. 1 times 5, 5 plus 2, 7. And then, decimal place, isa. So, mag-move tayo ng isa. So, there you go. 7.0 or 7, which is the value of our dividend. So, yung nakuha po nating sagot is correct. Let's proceed to the second example. What is 34 divided by 8? So, a two-digit whole number will be divided by a single-digit whole number. So, 34 divided by 8. Ayan. 34 divided by 8, we have 4. Because 4 times 8 is 32. Next, we subtract 4 minus 2, 2. 3 minus 3, 0. Now, 2 divided by 8 cannot be, so we'll add decimal point, and then naka-align, syempre, and then we'll add 0. So, magiging 20 siya niyan. 20 divided by 8, we have 2. 2 times 8, 16. 20 minus 16, we have 4. So, 4. So, ito magiging 10. Ito magiging 1. Kasi magbaborrow tayo. Next, another 0. 40 divided by 8, we have 5. 40 times 8, 5 times 8, that is 40. 40 minus 40, 0. So, yung nakuha po nating sagot is 4 and 25 hundredths. So, to check, so 4 and 25 hundredths multiplied by 8. 5 times 8, 40. So, 0, carry 4. 2 times 8, 16 plus 4, 20. So, we'll write 0 and then carry 2. 4 times 8, that is 32. Plus 2, 34. And then, bilangin natin yung decimal places dito sa ating mga factors. 1, 2. So, we have 2. Mag-move tayo ng 2 decimal places to the left. 1, 2. So, therefore, our answer is correct. 4 and 25 hundredths. So, after discussing the division or the process of dividing decimals, so for the next video lesson, for our week 7 discussion, we will be discussing on how to solve routine and non-routine problems involving division of decimals. So, automatic na po yan. Pagkatapos natin i-discuss yung mga concepts, ang susunod is yung application niya, yung mga word problems.